you go.
Oh, there you are. Okay, so I've had lots of lovely stuff delivered. I'm not going to do these now, although these are very exciting. We've got Western Legends here and dice setters. If you pan around for her, you'll see what's left of my pledge that I organised for Robin Hood. So most of those are delivered, but we're going to have a go at this now. I'm really excited about this. Been looking forward to this for a long time. Not looking forward to pronounce it, so I'm going to let my daughter have a go first. Have a go, Freya.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
Teotihuacan.
That's not bad. Teotihuacan, I believe, is how it is in the original language, of obviously which I am fluent. Teotihuacan. Okay, have a go. Teotihuacan. Go on, no, okay. Right, so we're going to have a look. Lovely game by NSKN Games, as is Dice Settlers, which I did together, so they've come together, but I'll have a look at that another day. I've had the pleasure of actually seeing this being played recently in MidCon. Some friends were playing through. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the table to see the start and the setup, but it was quite nice seeing other people play it. It's a game for 1 to 4 players, which is why I couldn't play. There was already 4 people at the table, but it says 90 minutes to 120 minutes, so that's an hour and a half or 2 hours. Now, between you and me, I got up and walked away after they'd been played for 2 hours, and they were nowhere near finished. Now, I think it was a learning game. I think it's one of those games that brings out the worst in analysis paralysis, because there's so many choices, lots and lots of choices. Personally, I'd spend maybe an hour looking at the artwork before I even made a move, because it is literally so much up my street, I could park my car on it. So here we go. As usual, I am devaluing the price of my game for
Wow.
my pension.
Dedicate.
And your inheritance is going by the wayside. We're slipping off the outer cover. First of all, lovely filter box, nice linen finish. Got fireworks going on outside. I've organised some fireworks. Obviously, when we have a big unboxing, I like to put on a firework display just to bring it all together. So we've got a lovely linen finish here. Don't know much about the artist, but I'm very impressed by the artist. I had a quick look at the artist on Board Game Geek. I don't think he's done an awful lot, so I think this is possibly his first big game in which he's obviously done the art. But if you look at that, it's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Nice greens. So it's set in obviously Latin America, probably Aztec, maybe Mayan, I'm not sure yet. I have to look it up in the history books. So one of the things I'm looking forward to is these tiles here. Now these tiles, anyone that has even had a passing look at, there's a bit missing already. There you go, show everybody my board spot. So these tiles, that's almost like Mahjong-like, isn't it? Lovely. Now if we have a look at these, they're nice square blocks which you're building the Aztec temple up. But look at the artwork there. Beautiful. How nice that looks, the black on the white background. And if we turn it around, these symbols here, as you're building, you're trying to gain points by matching the symbols. So when they butt against each other, as far as I understand it as well, as opposed, to reading the rule book, which I'm not going to do. Just observing other people playing it, maybe watching. I think Paul Groban did a playthrough which I watched. Paul, you should go and watch Paul's rules videos. Very good indeed. Always explains it really well. Before I play this again, before I play it for the first time, I'm definitely going to have another look at Paul's rules videos. Go and check them out. Gaming's Rules. But again, the lovely colours in the artwork, picked out, beautiful, nice greens. So they're lovely. Give it a tooth test. Probably wood, I would say. Wood. But they're just lovely. They're just lovely, tactile, nice, sort of visually nice to feel, nice to pick up, nice weight to them. Lots of dice. Lots and lots of dice. Now the game is basically you're moving dice around, and as you're moving the dice around, the dice get more powerful, and you trigger different things by adding the dice together, and you're trying to bring the dice onto the same plane space so you can get bigger and better rewards as you're going around. So I love games like that. Nice, lots of dice is always a firm favourite within my gaming group. We've got lots of little wooden bits. They probably will get lost, to be frank. I've got a feeling they're probably not thick enough, but that's just my initial impression of them. I think they're supposed to be as a resource wood. Really and truly look like chipstick sticked in Marmite, to be basically honest. But that probably could do with being a little bit more chunky. The houses are nice and chunky. That's gold. These are the plain pieces. Yes, the other thing, my initial impression of the game that I was watching is that these little roundels, these little pieces here, look quite small on the board, and you'll see what I mean when I get the board down in a minute. So I think it's a very busy board. I can see why they are that size. I just wonder with small pieces like that whether or not it's going to be difficult to actually spot them on a busy board or keep track of them, and indeed make sure you don't lose them. Now I'm given to understand the rule book's very good. Someone I was speaking to at MidCon, which we were at the weekend in Derby, had read the rule book, and they said to me they thought it was a very well put together book. So as I always like to do, I like to basically give you again an initial impression of the artwork within there. Again, lots of little nice little touches here, but again it speaks to me, the art. I really like it. I think it's very engaging, the colours are nice. There's a lot going on, however, so it's quite a big rule book, but even with the amount of stuff that's going on, the feedback I got was that once you were immersed in the game, it all became very intuitive. So here we have the punch outs, and I like to do the old punch out thickness test. So again, nice thick pieces, nice. Let's take my eyes out there, let's have a look at it. So I think this is one of the actual boards around the table on which you can land to trigger these rewards. As you can see, the dice, as they add up, give you access to more and more resources. So it's actually getting the dice together with the high enough numbers to trigger what you want to do to get a maximum amount of resources. It's all of that kind of push yourself around the board in the most ergonomic way kind of game. But again, colours beautiful. So here we have the board, and it's a big boy, a bit like me. It's a big boy. Go off there.
Got that right.
Okay, so let's get this out here now. So, as I said, it's a very busy board. There's a lot going on it, and the game, as a consequence, tends to be a bit of a table hugger. Hugger. It folds out and out and out. So that ultimately is quite a big board for something that hasn't got expansions, and you'll see what I mean by the size of these pieces. It is visually very confusing when it's all out. So you're building a pyramid in the middle part here, your dice are running around the outside, your little roundels are going round, and you're keeping track on things on various tracks. These are all tracks on which you're trying to race up, and it is, again, when you're watching other people playing, you're thinking, I'll never be able to get this. I'll never be able to understand all the things that need to be done. But again, they all seem to be having a really good time. They all seem to actually get it and actually be able to plan their moves. Within a couple of turns, it seemed to come quite intuitively. But again, lots of nice little details on the board. I got to put my glasses on to actually see them, so I'm going to do that now. Yeah, it's a nice little people going about the day-to-day work in terms of the artwork's super. The artwork on each of the individual pieces. Now I know this won't be everybody's cup of tea because it is very busy. I love Zoican. It's I've played it maybe once or twice. I really like this, but this isn't really the same sort of game. There's a couple of things like the God tracks. Obviously, that's very similar to Zoican, but everything else about it feels like an entirely different game to me. Really excited to play it. Again, like these pieces are just a delight. I think these are really, really lovely. A nice touch. The black with the occasional colour against it, I think, is really striking. These sort of patterns on the backs of them, again, nice and striking. I mean, it's just something about it is very tactile and visually pleasing to me. So that is, Fran, have you got it yet? Teotihuacan.
City of Gods.
Which is City of Gods. Thank you very much.
No worries.
I keep forgetting to read out the whole name. You feel so relieved having got past the first part of the name that you forget that there is a second part of the game. So I suspect a lot of people will start to call this the City of Gods because no one wants to jump that first hurdle. But can't wait to get this to the table. First of all, you're going to have to find the table big enough. Because not only is it with that in the middle, that's a lot of room, and then everything that's going on around it, all of different piles of resources all the way around it. Obviously, there's lots of punch boards with lots of things to come out. But yeah, a really good, and I think it was kind of under the radar until Dice Tower did a review of it and gave it a rave review, and then I saw that Rado did a review and really loved it, and then all of a sudden, maybe 4 or 5 months after I'd originally backed it, there was a lot of buzz about it. Lots of people were talking about it. And in a way that made me more excited about it, and more excited. To be perfectly honest, it was an add-on. This is the game that I originally backed with a group pledge through Board Game Trade and Chat, the group that I helped run. This was a group deal that we did with NSKN. And this came as almost an afterthought, an add-on. Oh, would you also like to do this? And lots of us said, well, yeah, why not? But then again, there was nothing more about it. It looked nice, so we backed it. But as time went on, I've actually started to look forward to playing this more than what I originally backed. But we'll have a look at that another time. But that is my initial impression of getting out of the box. Teotihuacan, City of Gods. And if you want to watch a really good rules playthrough, I would urge you to go and look at Paul Grogan's work on games rules. But this isn't one of those. This is just basically an idiot getting stuff out of boxes, trying to pronounce it properly, having a little bit of fun with his daughter. But I would recommend this. This, I think, in the right group is going to be a firm favourite, and I think it will be a firm favourite in the group that I play with as well. So, thank you very much for watching, and that's me out.